welcome to Cookie Decorating Live with Hani and Friends. Hi guys, how is it going? Welcome to today's 267th episode. Today we're going to be making sunset cookies. I hope you guys are excited. Summer sunsets are beautiful. And let's see who is here today in the comment section. So let's jump in the comment section. Hi Sally. Hello, Norma. I know some of you are still experiencing extreme heat. I hope you are staying cool and sheltered. Hi, Jeremy. Hi, Heather. Stay cool. Hi, Byron. How is it going? Thank you. I hope you are all having great summer. Let me know what you are up to this week or for the last 2 weeks. Thank you for joining me today. As always, for today's tutorial, we're going to do sunset cookies, but I also prepared live stream newsletter. Those of you who are new to the live stream, you can find the live stream newsletter on my blog under the tab classes, but I also listed in the description under the YouTube video. Facebook, it's a little sketchy. It doesn't really allow me to list it there. So I'm putting it also here in the comment section so you guys can check it out. It includes some useful links along with the tools I'm using today, and also I released a couple of new tutorials over the course of the 2 weeks we haven't seen each other. So first off, ice cream cone cookies. These are soft serve ice cream. This tutorial is also posted on my blog. Hello, Susan. Hello, Multi-Gem Girl. So this tutorial, it's not a new tutorial, but it's a new video tutorial that's on my YouTube channel. So you can get step-by-step instructions there if you wanted to check it out. And also last week was Shark Week. So I had to make some mildly scary shark cookies. And that's a tutorial that's available for you on YouTube. And my YouTube channel is super easy to find. You just, you go on YouTube and you type. I don't want you to type on the screen, or you type Haniela's and it will come up. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Let's go in the comment section one more time. Hello, Muhammad. How is it going? Hello, Karen. No, we have not forgotten about you. I hope you're having a good summer. Are you still playing pickleball? Yes, I agree. Karen is unforgettable. So I also wanted to show you a short clip. This clip is from 3 years ago. Because I live in a coastal town, but we don't get sunsets over the water because the sun sets in west. But we are fortunate enough to get. Okay, let me just show you on the screen. Hopefully you can see it. Yeah, so this is actually a moon. This was 3 years ago, July 13. This was a buck moon, and it looked like sun almost, like it went at the very beginning, but then it will obviously rise, and it was so beautiful. So beautiful. So I wanted to share that with you. And you can see this reflection. That's the thing we're going to focus on today in today's tutorial. So let me get this off the screen. Yes, Karen is still playing pickleball. Okay, guys, you guys enjoy your discussion in the chat. I'm gonna try to keep up, but let's focus on today's project. For today's project, I opted for a cutter that most of you probably have. It's an ice cream cookie cutter. I already had the cookies made from a while ago, so I thought, why not use these cookies? But that being said, you can use any cutter you like. And I will show you how you can use 2 other cutters just to get your kind of inspiration going, so you guys are not limited by the cutter that I am using today. So we're gonna start by adding, oh, and also a reminder, this is the schedule for summer live streams. and I will put up a new schedule after this one and after we get closer to the September. So bear with me. Okay. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comment section down below. Otherwise, hello, June. What happened there with Snoopy? Please let us know. I love Snoopy so much. Yes, don't overdo it in the heat. Exactly. It's so easy to overdo it in the heat. You don't even know when you get a heat stroke, and that is very dangerous. Here in Spain, I think over 1,000 people die because of the heat exhaustion. So be careful there. Okay, so let me do a little dance here. Okay, so let's start. So this is my this is a very large ice cream cone cookie. I'm gonna divide it into sections. We're gonna be using wet on wet decorating in this tutorial, and I'm using ruler here. I'm just gonna draw the sun, the outline, the circle on the cookie using yellow marker, and then we can start with. First, I'm going to do the guide. So these are going to be kind of like a dam. So it's not going to allow that icing around it to sink in. So I'm using white icing, and this can be also flat consistency. Just let it crush for a couple minutes, and then we can start with the filling part. And all the recipes, if you are new to the live stream and new to my my YouTube channel, all the recipes are posted on my blog, vanillas.com. Link to the blog or the URL is visible at the bottom of the screen. So I'm using 15-second consistency here. This is the deep pink. I was looking at some images of sunsets, Hawaiian sunset to be specific, and some of them had this really deep pink and orange. So I went with this idea. And sometimes we actually get a really nice pink sunset here, but it's not in the summer, I have to say. It's usually in the fall and then also in the winter. January produces incredible sunsets here where we are. Summer, it's okay, but it's not as vibrant as it's fall and winter. What is your experience with the sunsets, folks? Let me know. Do you have a favorite sunset of all the times that you experienced? I mean, I love sunsets. Each one is different. Same with sunrises, of course. Oh, okay, Jeremy. So I have to highlight this. I was so glad Cookie Live was today because it gave me a good reason to stop in time and to clean up and shower. Okay. Oh my God, Jeremy. I hope I'm not saying Honey saved my life, but I'm not saying she didn't either. Okay. I'm glad it's helping. Who is here? Not much. Hey Genji. Arizona. Their sunsets are gorgeous. Oh yeah, I can imagine. Beautiful. Okay, so now we are doing the blending. For this, I ended up using a palette knife. I just prefer it because it facilitates like a smoother transition between the colors as opposed to using a scribe tool, and it's also quicker, I have to say. So if you're trying to get these cookies done in certain time, you want to work fast. Palette knife works really well. If you see any dimples here and there in the icing, you can add additional icing in those areas and just blend that in. It's gonna be fine. I like sunsets better than sunrises because you don't have to get up early. Now I have to say here I'm quite lucky because sunsets here are very late. In the summer we get sunset. The longest day is 9:30 over 9:30, but also sunrises are quite late. I think it's 7 o'clock or something like that. I think. And so it's quite late, so it's not too bad. But I know some part of the world, like where my brother lives, they get a sunrise like 5 or something, and it is early. All right, so now we've got the sky kind of going on there, like really fiery sky at the end. And now we're going to add black silhouettes. Now this is optional. You don't have to add these. You could add these afterwards, maybe even with edible marker if you don't want to make black. So I'm using 15-second here, piping the leaves. We're going to take a scribe tool and we're going to drag that bright pink orange color into the black, wiping it after each time you run it through, creating the leaf. And then you can make another leaf on the other side. You can make 2 or 3 leaves. I think it adds a really nice detail. If you don't want to use black, I think a navy blue would be also nice. Just make sure that you clean the tip of the scribe tool after each time you run it through because you don't want that black to transfer into the background. So now we can do the sun. For that, I opted for obviously for yellow. It's a slightly muted yellow with a little bit of orange, I have to say. It's not like a lemon yellow. And as you go around that white dam or border we made, you want to squeeze the piping back a little more so you kind of seal that gap between the colors. And now here comes the tricky part. We're going to do the sailboat. Oops. Uh, this is optional. I just did the dishes and one of the trays kind of fell over, so it's okay. So when you're doing these wet on wet designs and you want to make sure that you don't add too much icing in the area, it's best to make the opening small on your piping bag. That way you have more control. If the opening on the bag is big, then a lot of icing comes out, and it usually comes out very quickly because the icing is fluid, and it can create some problems. So now we're gonna add this. Is that gonna be like a triangular sail or whatever that is? Yeah, I guess it's a sail. There are two parts. Don't ask me about sailboats. They are here on the water. They're so gorgeous to watch. Thank you, Byron. My hairstyle reminds you of school teachers. Yay! I'm a teacher after all. Kind of. I teach you how to make cookies. So now we're going to fill this area as well. These are small, so you want to make sure that you don't put too much pressure on that bag. And then you can still kind of shape it with the scribe tool, accentuate the corners. And now we can do the bottom part. It's going to be the water and the reflection, right? So for that, I ended up using actually 3 shades, no, 4, no, 3 shades. 3 shades of, like we're doing dark blue, like in kind of like a navy blue, and also lighter shade of that, and then teal. And then we're gonna add some white for extra reflection. So starting with this side here, adding that blue, it's also about 15-second consistency here. Try not to overfill it if you are struggling with icing falling off or flowing off the cookie. Try not to overfill it too much so it doesn't flow off the edge. Well, if I make the opening small, the icing curls as it comes out. Well, then maybe make it a little, I mean, I guess make it a little bigger, but do you use T plus bag? Oh yeah, I guess you use the T plus bags. Sometimes it does happen to me as well, and then I make the opening ever so like a little bit larger. Or then also, if I squeeze it too much and the opening is small, then I see it will curl up a little bit. So now we're almost ready for that reflection part. So I'm gonna bring in lighter shade of blue. This is carrot. This is actually a sapphire color that I had from Progel. And I know Progel is known to bleed, but so far I've been quite lucky, knock on wood. Otherwise, you can use royal blue and add a little bit of black to it, but I like to let it really sit for a while. It does help with the color to kind of mature and the pigment gets developed, and it's just nicer. So now I'm gonna come in with that. This is a teal. Hi June, this one is for you if you're still here. So teal is June's favorite color. So we're just gonna do a wavy line, like a zigzag, all the way to the bottom. And then I'm going to use the scribe tool, just gonna go over it. And then to kind of enhance that reflection, we can add another line with white. This is optional, but I think it adds something extra to this. Also, when piping, I like to, if I can, sometimes I forget, I like to keep the seam of the bag facing palm of my hand. But at the end, I added a line across. Okay, so this is like the initially design. If you'd like, you can make it more dimensional by piping perhaps some palm leaves on the top when it's dry or when it's crusted. That is optional. But let me remove this screen and bring up another screen here so we can have a look. Okay. All right. So I wanted to show you other cutters that you can use for this same design. You're not limited by this cutter that I use. So I use the, ice cream cone cutter. It's such a, my God, you turn it like this and it's a Santa, it's an incredible cutter. So many possibilities and variations of designs. Okay. So before we get to this part, I also wanted to, yes, I will try to do that. I have a piping bag here, so I will try to do that. If I don't do it, please remind me, because I am very forgetful these days. Sorry, folks. Okay, so I wanted to share with you your cookies, and Sally has been prolific this week. I love these Oreo cookies. They're just so magical. I love them so much. And remember, 2 weeks ago, we made cameo cookies. So Sally got to work and she created her own version. I love how these turned out. And also because she just visited Hawaii, so here are some Hawaii-inspired cookies with hibiscus, and also T-shirts and another cookie. I love these sticks. I don't know if I have I think I do have a couple of these. What's the shell made of? Is it a cookie or fondant? So thank you for sending this in, Sally. Also a reminder, a new tutorial on Patreon. Those of you who are members of Patreon Cookie Club, there's a new tutorial that focuses on pedal tips. That's a classic pedal tip, not the curved pedal tip. This is a classic pedal tip on how to use it in cookie decorating. I go through a lot of different projects. There are also templates included. This tutorial is also available as a single purchase tutorial. Let me grab a link to my Patreon so you can check it out there. Oh yes, I love exactly. I love the belly button too. think that's a great observation. Thank you for mentioning, Karen. So the seashells are from fondant. Me too. I love the shirt. Okay, so the it didn't publish to Facebook. Doesn't surprise me. So let me try to do it again. I'm trying to add a link to the Patreon, but okay. So now it went through. So that's great. So guys, if you wanted to check out what's new in Patreon, you can find the link in the comment section. Patreon, those of you who are not familiar, it's a subscription platform where you subscribe and you get monthly exclusive tutorials and templates and so on. Okay. Also, before I forget, I have a class coming up on Saturday. If you want to learn how to make succulents, realizing succulent, this class is on August 2nd at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So I can't wait to see you, everyone. And you can sign up either through my blog, haniolas.com, under the tab classes, or directly through Coffee Shop. Well, the sailboat, you could also just do the. I know I complicated things because I added two sails, right? But you can just do one sail, I suppose, like a small, maybe it's a small sailboat. Sometimes here we see a training sailboats. They're one person sailboats. They're so cute. They're like toys, you know. They're so small, but I would be scared to even like go in one of those. And I think they just have like one small sail. So you could also do that. Oh yes, but you could also do realizing transfer, or you could stencil it on. Why not? You could stencil it on. There's no harm in that. It should be a pretty straightforward stencil, and you could do that after the icing dries, or you could airbrush it on. There are other options, of course. So okay, so here are our other shape. So I have this shape and this shape. So let's have a look at this shape. This is a cupcake shape. Everybody has that. It's pretty standard, easy to ship, and I think most of us have that shape. So imagine we have the horizon here where the cupcake liner ends, over here, and then okay, let's figure out where the middle is, and then we can do the sun. Let's do, I think this is a good size, or should we do it bigger? I think this is a good size. Obviously for this you can use a template, just stick it on there, cardstock template, and just trace it. And you got yourself a basic guide. So here, let's say we're gonna do the pink here, and then orange here, and then this area also. Something like this for the reflection. Let me attempt to do this. I'm gonna do this one. And then also we have another shape that you can see here, and I already did this one. This is the basic, like a flag that I had leftover cookies, and it works on the flag as well. So I'm gonna do one sail now. I hope I can just do one sail. I think they are both with one sail. I'm so confused now. I confuse myself now. So I'm gonna start with pink. Let me just go my glasses. Oh, I forgot. I forgot something. Okay, you didn't remind me of the piping bag, and also I forgot that I have to make the guide. So let me do the guides, and while they're crusting, we can show you how I cut the piping that super tiny little opening. So I'm gonna do the guide first. Okay, my son is not completely, oops. I'm gonna get my reading glasses soon, guys, so hopefully I can see better what I'm doing. I hate when the bag is clogged up. I can't stand it. Okay, oops. Let's do this again. It's a very simple thing to do, but okay. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside for a second, and let me bring my piping bag. So I've got some black here. That's the one we're gonna use for the boat and for the leaves. So I'm gonna trim it. Oh, it's totally not misplaced, Jeremy. My faith is that I believe in everyone. Everyone can do it. Okay, so here is my tipless piping bag. I really like using tipless piping bags, especially if they're good quality and they don't have a fixed seam. If there is a fixed seam and even like the slightest flap there, it's going to interfere with how the icing is coming out of the bag. So generally speaking, I like to press it down the middle where the seam is. I want to see the seam when I'm cutting the bag. And then I cut straight across. Look again so I can see something. And you can really like press it down so you can see a nice point. And then start small, obviously, but then, if it's too small, like if it's like this, I don't think it's gonna come out nice. It's just too small. Not even coming out. So we have to make it slightly bigger. Still not coming out. Maybe it's clogged now. I feel like that might be the problem. Yeah, the sugar here, as I mentioned earlier, it has I sifted, I pulverized it. It still gives me a headache. So I have to make it a little bigger. See, but now it's too big. I find like this is too big for the sail. Because when you're piping it into the icing, it's going to spread. So I'm gonna have to add another bag, make another bag. You can also use number 00 if you have 00. Yes, Linda, this is 15 seconds. I want to make sure that everything sinks in. Okay, so let's do it again. Hopefully there's not gonna be a sugar problem here. I think it's okay. There's no, it's not feel a lump there, so let's trim it. Okay, see the line? It's finer than the one we did before, so I like it. I like this much better. It's gonna be clogging up on me, but I don't wanna make it too big. Okay. gonna be fine. So that's how you can. And then because I flatten it like that, then I go over it with my fingers a little bit and I try to shape it. And then when I'm piping, I try to hold it like this, not with the seam up, but with the seam down. Okay. All right. So let's put this aside. I'm gonna wipe my hands a little bit. So now we're going to come in with, I'm gonna need actually the pink, orange, and black at this time, at this point, because we're going to do the sky, and then we're gonna start with the orange. And I also need my palette knife, so I will use that. I'm gonna start with the orange. Oh, sorry, pink. I sound like I'm colorblind, but I'm not. Now let's come in with the orange. And now with the palette knife, you just want to go back and forth, kind of get that pink into the orange and orange into the pink. Okay, I think this is okay. Now for the leaves, I'm gonna pipe the leaf here. I'm gonna fill it. Oh, see now it's clogged up again. Drive me crazy. Okay. Also remember, the leaf itself is going to expand a little bit. So if you want it smaller, you need to make it smaller because it's going to expand a little bit. Now you can use the scribe tool, like the metal scribe tool, but if you want, you can also use a thicker scribe tool. It will give you a slightly different result. Okay, so if you're using a thick scribe, you're going to result like that, and then fine scribe, you're going to slightly smaller cut in a leaf. So it's up to you what you want to use. Let's do another one. I'm going to do one here. Okay. Again, you want to make sure you wipe it after each time you run it through the icing. Obviously, if you want like a different kind of a leaf, you can also look online for different tropical leaves, and you can add something different. Or like I said, you can wait for this to dry, and you can airbrush the leaf on, or you could draw the leaf with edible marker if you don't want to bother with black icing. Okay, I'll show you what happens if you don't clean the scribe tool. So I didn't clean the scribe tool. I've got some icing on there. So you see what happens if you don't clean it? It gets into the ink. Now to fix that, you can add a little bit of ink in there. You can shape it to hide the black. Okay. So now we can fill in the sun. So I'm squeezing the bag quite a bit, letting more icing flow out of the bag and kind of feeling that gap between two colors. And now we are going to do the sailboat with one sail. Okay. When I get to the comments, once I put my opticals on, can't see a thing. So, okay, let's see. Okay. I have to do two. I'm sorry. It just doesn't look right. Okay, so now we're gonna do, we need blue, teal, and white. So we're gonna do the bottom, that's where the reflection is gonna come in. I need to wipe my hands, I got some black on my fingers. Let's clean this up. And I'm gonna start with a blue. This is a nice, like a navy blue. And I think any blue will work. I mean, just look at different, you can look on Pinterest for some inspiration. And we're going to do this area blue. This, because it's divided, it gives you some time. If you'd like, you can, why not? We can add some color to it, like a little bit of interest, and just blend that in. Kind of like a wave or something like that. Okay. I got, oh my goodness, okay. I saved it, all right. But this stuff happens, folks, so you get to see live. I don't know, Jeremy. Is it better? Was it better than the piping bag that burst a while ago? So worried that it's gonna mess up my boat. Whew, it was a close call. But this happens, you know. I gotta have stuff around me, and I'm trying to rush, which is not good. And okay, so now for the reflection, I'm starting with this lighter blue. I'm gonna squeeze the bag so we can hide that white icing. The more icing is gonna come out. I'm just gonna go around the perimeter first here and also here. But here I'm trying to be mindful of how much I squeeze it when I go around the sun. And then in this area, I noticed I didn't add a lot of icing because I wanted to make sure that I don't add too much. So I'm just gonna use the scribe tool. And now we can come in with the with the teal, and I'm gonna start at the very top. And I'm just gonna going back and forth. And what you could also do, I'm thinking that you could streamline it if you stripe your bag with white. You put these two colors in one bag, and you will do the zigzag the same time, and you don't have to do the white afterward, right? Okay. Now, if you want, you can go over it or you can skip it. It's up to you. Just gonna go over it very lightly with the scribe tool, like so. Yeah. And then the very last thing, if I can find my bag here under all these paper towels, and I'm gonna go in. I thought you were showing us a new technique of some sort. I don't know. For some people, it might be new. For some it might be old. I don't know. So now we're going to. I'm just going to go over this section here with this is like a soft piping consistency. I'm just gonna go over like this. All right, so I'm gonna go in the comment section. Oh yeah, bird silhouette would be fantastic. I was actually thinking about that. That's a great idea. Clouds, absolutely. I like that. Clouds. I actually wanted to do the clouds. I remember I had it actually on my design, but I forgot. You could do this for, I suppose you could do it for Halloween. Yes, I did save that. The saved it, I think. Oh, you mean with the? I get it now. You mean with the new technique? Yes. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Okay. I meant yes. You say I got it now. I understand. Thank you. Okay, guys. So here is here are three versions of the same design. You could even do it, I think, on a heart if you wanted to do that. You could do that, or like I'm thinking like you could add a little heart here. Like border. I don't know. I'm just thinking. So thank you so much for being here, and I hope you had fun and enjoyed today's live stream. I'm trying to catch up to all the comments, but obviously I can't, so forgive me if I don't react to your comment. Thank you so much, guys, and I will be back. We will be back in 2 weeks on August 13. I can't believe it. We are headed for fall, but I'm looking for fall and cooler temperatures. It will be really nice. It wasn't an oops, she was marbling. Okay, that is a new technique to marble. Yes, throw your paper towels on your cookies. Thank you. Yes, Jeremy, please stay out of the sun. Not the sun, but stay out of the heat. Everybody keep cool, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye, guys.